Good afternoon, and all present here. Today it's me, Ansu, representing Class 9A to do a big fight on North India versus South India. So without further ado, let's invite our first speaker, representing the North Indian team, Vishal, please. Perfect, start.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today, I'll tell you why North India has better physical features and tourist attractions than South India. Let's start with the Himalayas. The Himalayas are the tallest peaks in the world. It acts as a barrier to the country which protects us from the cold winds blowing from the North Pole. It also protects us from our neighboring countries, and it's a very important resource for our country. Now, let's move on to the rivers. The river Ganga, which is the holiest river of the world, it is said that if you have a disease and you bathe in it, your disease gets cured. The Brahmaputra. The Brahmaputra has the largest river basin, and it starts from Tibet by a name called Sangpo. Now, let's talk about the great Indian desert of India in Rajasthan, the Thar Desert. It is the only desert of India, and there is only one river which flows throughout the desert named Luni. Now, let's talk about the tourist attractions of North India. The Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal, which was built by the Shah Jahan hundreds of years ago in Agra, by pure white marble with inlays of diamonds, rubies and emeralds, is one of the wonders of the world. Next we move on to the Qutub Minar, which was built by the slave dynasty in Delhi. This building is made up of red sandstone. Now let's talk about a little bit of religion. The Golden Temple. The Golden Temple, which is located in Amritsar, is the world's famous temple. It is made up of pure gold. It has a tank in which whatever you wish, it comes true. So, I would like to conclude my speech by saying that North India has better physical features and tourist attractions than South India. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Vivek. Now it's the rival on the South Indian team. Let's welcome Vishal.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Now I'm going to speak about the South India, epic South India. In South India, the geographical feature is so good that there have been no invasions by the invaders who invaded India in the past. And the climate is good and the development is good. As Himalayas is important in the northern India, the same thing, the Vindhya range is also important in the southern India. So, let me talk about the Charminar. Charminar is located in Hyderabad, which is in Telangana. It's very famous and prestigious site of tourist attraction. Now let me talk about the Tirupati Balaji. As the Golden Temple in the north is very famous. The same thing, Tirupati Balaji in the South India is very, very famous. It is on the 7 hills named Saptagiri, and it is one of the richest temples of India. Then we go to Karnataka. In Karnataka, we find the prestigious royal palace of Mysore, which is so good and it is very famous. And even it is a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, and it's a very good tourist attraction. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Vishal. Moving on to the next topic of festivals, let's invite Spursh on the North India team.
Good afternoon to one and all. Today, I am going to speak on the behalf of my team, North India. I am going to speak on the festivals celebrated by the North Indians. Firstly, the most popular of them all, Diwali. Diwali is a festival of lights. It is celebrated to mark the return of Lord Rama to Ayodhya and also the victory of good over evil. It is a festival of lights. People burst crackers in their colonies and enjoy with their families in the exteriors of Diwali. People light diyas and decorate their houses with lightnings. Next, Holi. Holi is the festival of colors. It is celebrated to mark the victory of good over evil, and the end of winter.
Would you be a good listener here? You are communicating with them then?
People mostly use temporary colors to apply others. This festival is one of the most important in North India and as well as India. It is also one of the most enjoyed festivals in India. Third, Raksha Bandhan, the festival of brothers and sisters. This festival is celebrated to mark the love and care between a brother and a sister. On this auspicious day, a brother promises his sister to protect her from all her enemies and bad things. On this auspicious day, also the sisters wait for their gifts from their brothers. Fourth, Baisakhi, a festival mainly in the Gangetic Plains. It marks the end of agriculture year and start of a new agriculture year. It also starts the harvest of the new year. So friends, I just like to tell you all my opinion about the festivals of North India. I also rather think that the festivals of North India are rather great than the festivals celebrated in South India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next we have Shruti. Let's see what she got for us.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm here standing before you on behalf of my team South India. I'm going to mostly emphasize on the topic South India's festivals. The first festival I'm going to talk is about Sankranti. This occasion is also called Makar Sankranti and Pongal in Tamil Nadu. Makra is an aquatic animal of the crocodile species that is now extinct. Pongal means cooked rice in milk. People generally cook it in their courtyard. On this occasion, people light lamps in their houses with cow's ghee and a cotton wick. People on this occasion fast for a month continuously, consuming only milk because of fear of death. The next festival I'm going to talk about is Mahashivratri. This festival is celebrated in the month of Magh. There are 5 types of Shivratris, and they are Mahashivratri, Nitya Shivratri, Paksha Shivratri, Yoga Shivratri and Mashi Shivratri. People on this day even fast. Many people take bath in the holy river and even visit the Lord Shiva's temple. The next festival I'm going to talk about is Chaitra Vishu. This festival is celebrated in the month of Chaitra and hence is called Chaitra Vishu. It is also called the Hindu New Year. Many people in this festival eat fried mornas of flowers on this festival. The next festival I'm going to talk about is Onam. It is celebrated in Kerala. It is the tourist attraction because of the boat race. At last, I'm going to conclude my speech by telling South India's festivals were the best, are the best, and will be the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Shruti. Now let's have Shaurya on the topic of food, which is the most important, I think.
Good afternoon to one of our present here. I'm going to speak on the topic the most awaited, that's the food of the northern part of the continent, subcontinent. Let's start off with, my speech is in 3 parts. Starters, main course, dessert. Let's start with starters. We start with Punjab. They've got the paneer tikka, one of the best and the most famous dishes from the country. Let's move on to Rajasthan, where they've got the 2 types of kachoris, Raj Kachori and Pyaz Ka Kachori. Raj Kachori is a round one, served with mithai and chutney. Let's move on now to Gujarat, where they've got the dhokla and the fafda. These are one of the best dishes you can ever think of. Now we move on to Mumbai, the house of street food. We start with the sandwiches on the road, with the pav bhaji served in the best form ever. And then the last, the chaats. Chaats in India, especially in northern India, are served everywhere. In Mumbai with the name of Pani Puri, in Delhi with the name of Golgappa, and Calcutta with the name of Puchka. So now let me continue on the main course, or it will take a long time with starters. Main course, we start with Gujarat, where we got the thepla and the curry khichdi, a very home-style preparation, served really well, and very good to eat and for your digestive system. Let's move on to Rajasthan, where we got dal bati churma. Dal bati churma is basically a round ball of roti served with dal and barbecued onions with a vegetable on the side called gatta ki sabji. This is one of the most uniquest vegetables you could have ever come across. Let's move on to Punjab, This state is where food is acclimatized to the temperature or the climate conditions. Like in winter, they have bajre ka sogra with makki di roti and sarson ka saag. Now this is something which all of us really know, and it's one of the most healthiest and tastiest dishes possible for the winter. Last but not the least, the desserts. Without desserts, a complete Indian meal is never possible. Desserts. We start with Kolkata, where they've got the sandesh and the rasgulla, a really soft preparation we made by milk. Let's move to the house of sweets. That's the last, the best. Rajasthan. It's the home to all sweets possible for the world. Rajasthan's got the best sweets. You can take from rasmalai, jalebi, rabdi, and so on. In the end, I would like to conclude, if it's food, it's North Indian. To be honest, the best food in the world is our own Indian food. Thank you.
Thank you, Soren. Now we are keen to challenge his rival. Let's welcome him.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. As my worthy opponent, I have already spoken too much about the northern side. Now I'll take you to the southern side. I'll speak about the southern delicacies. First of all, I would like to tell you about the idli. It's the healthiest and the tastiest. It's healthy because it's steamed food. And it is absolutely fat-free. And it can be eaten at any time of the day. It can be eaten any time of the day. This is because it's steamed. And then I would like to take a favorite of Karnataka, the Bisi Bela Bath. It's a rice preparation which has lentils, dals, and has added spices in it. It is the whole meal in itself. And the next, very famous all over the world, dosa, which has many variations. The masala, plain, served, and it's mostly served with sambar and chutney. It also has many variations, that's plain, butter, and masala, etc. It's also available in various sizes. In Karnataka, there is a restaurant which serves 165 dosas at a time. Another common breakfast is poha, which is made up of different vegetables and it's very tasty. Then we have the Hyderabadi biryani. It is very spicy. It's very spicy and very tasty. It gives a very refreshing taste. It also has many various layers of rice. Then we have the last and the dessert. That's the Mysore pak. That's the sweetest and it's the delicious. It's mainly in the South India and it's the best. It's known all over the world. Thank you.
In conclusion, both North and South India have its own uniqueness and features, and they combine to make this fabulous country. Thank you.
Thank you, children. Please be seated. Please be seated. I would like to ask one question. This is part of the debate. Any one of you can answer. And if I directly question someone, of course, that person will answer. And marks accordingly. This is basically to test your confidence about what you have spoken. Shoya, I would like to ask you that I've heard you have been praising North Indian food to the skies. But I've heard that it is very rich in calories and fattening. Do you have anything to say about that?
I would not deny,
Your mic is a problem? Yeah, when it's coming.
deny the fact that the food is rich and filled with ghee and oil, but to a certain extent, ghee is really good for the bones. And secondly, it's not that every food has ghee and oil. There are some foods like Punjab, bajra, sogra, and all this. Everything does not have oil. It's all acclimatized to the body. And in North India, most of the people work a lot, like the whole day, so they eat such a heavy meal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shoya. Okay, thank you, 9A. Can we have 9B on stage now, please?